As I already said in the beginning, quite a few times I have seen questions when members of our community, or maybe not even members of our community, maybe they were not subscribed, I don't know, but some people were asking to explain in little more detail my reading of the big picture in regards to Middle East, because after all, I was predicting regional war there for way before Israeli attack on Iran, right? For years, by the way, because that was the direction in my reading on the big picture towards which collective West was moving. And in general, I cannot talk about this like for another hour, but to make it short, in general, my understanding is that, well, collective West that sees China and global South as their main competitor, main and only competitor right now. Collective West wants to derail progress of the global South, right? Collective West wants to derail emergence of multipolar world. I mean, I guess we all will agree on that point. And there are several ways ruling class of the West that is basically was in charge of almost entire world for the last 300 to 500 years. This ruling class of the West is working on several directions on geopolitical scale, and one of these directions is to basically create a regional war in the Middle East, provoke regional war in the Middle East, to shut down navigation in Hormuz, in the Persian Gulf and through Hormuz Strait. And what they want to achieve by doing so, they want to basically attack Chinese economy. That's the first, right? Immediate result will be significant damage to Chinese economy. Also, by the way, one should keep in mind that if Western ruling class succeeds in this provocation, and if they will shut down navigation in the Persian Gulf, that will increase oil prices and gas prices, LNG prices, for example, significantly, right? And that will be a secondary strike on Chinese economy, because Chinese goods obviously gonna become significantly more expensive. So one direct strike will be cutting China from their Middle Eastern energy sources. Another strike is to make Chinese goods extra, significantly more expensive due to high energy cost. And third, by the way, and their main task of collective West is to force China to increase its dependence on energy supplies from Russia up to critical level. And why they want to do so? Point is that I think Western ruling class thinks they have enough assets in China and in Russia that at one point, when Chinese dependence on Russian energy will be at critical level, I guess Western ruling class has hope and plans to derail relationships between the two countries, either through attempts of regime change in Russia or by some sort of provocations. They can come up with some provocations, isn't it? But their hope is to derail relationships between the two countries, and by doing so, basically force China to take a military action against Central Asian republics that are rich in energy and against Russia. And this is, by the way, closest energy fields we are talking about that China can reach through land. Not through navy, not through maritime routes, but through land. Kazakhstan, by the way, is bordering China, right? And Kazakhstan is an oil-rich country. Russia is obviously bordering China, and Russia is a rich country in every possible way, energy, and you just name it, right, with everything. First of all, I think Russia's vast main richness is its society, right, intellectual richness. but natural riches also is here, and also Turkmenistan, by the way, which is a gas-rich country. So West wants to force China to take a military action to secure closest energy fields that it can reach through land. That's the main goal, and by doing so, Western ruling elites are hoping that they will take out main and basically only competitors that they see now and in observable future, which is China, and we can argue global South in general, because obviously military confrontation between China and Russia are going to turn global South in disaster zone for sure. So you see where my logic is. And now to realize, to give you more details about how important energy from Middle East is from China, I give you a few numbers, by the way. For example, Iran, which is under thousands of sanctions, obviously, but still, on daily basis, supplies exports to China about 2 million barrels of oil daily, by the way. But this is peanuts compared to overall import of oil by China on daily basis through Middle East. And for example, I can give you this information that for April, by the way, China's average daily oil import was 12 million barrels a day. 12 million barrels, by the way, a day. Right? From Middle East. Mainly from Middle East. So Chinese average daily oil imports reached 12.11 million barrels per day by March 2025, highest level in 1.5 years. And mainly this oil comes not from Russia right now, but from Middle East, from Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, Iraq, Iran, UAE, you name it, right? And overall, if you are interested, volume of import of oil from Persian Gulf, I was researching yesterday latest information on that, and according to number of reports, we are talking about some 20 million barrels, by the way. 15 to 20 million barrels that is exported from Middle East on daily basis. And main buyers of this energy is China, India, by the way, and Japan. So you see, if Western ruling class will manage to provoke this regional war in the Middle East and shut down navigation through Persian Gulf and in Persian Gulf and through Hormuz Strait, China will lose millions of barrels of oil supply, and will have no option but to contact Central Asian republics, Kazakhstan first of all, and Russia obviously, and China will ask us to increase oil exports to China as much as we can, and eventually, even though Russia and Kazakhstan alone cannot compensate overall loss of oil input on the world market, daily input on the world market from Middle East, but obviously, Russia and Kazakhstan can increase significantly oil imports to China, and eventually, as the Western ruling elites are hoping, in my reading of the big picture, this dependence of China on energy from Kazakhstan and Russia will reach absolutely critical levels. And I guess Western elites are hoping that in 5 years, in 10 years' time, they will manage to provoke some divisions between Moscow and Beijing, and force Beijing basically to, use force to secure closest oil and gas fields, and that is Central Asia and Russia. That's how I see, by the way, a big picture. And this is just a part of the plan, right? This is not the only plan that West is working on, but in regards to current developments in the Middle East and the strategy of the West against global South, emerging multipolar world, I think a scenario that I just presented is one of the main one that West is working on. I hope I explained well enough how I see the things.
Hello everyone, I hope you find informative and useful this short clip from main news update, and if so, please click that like button and leave some commentary just about anything. It might help to deal with the algorithm and reach wider audience. And if you like my work in general and want to support to save this media project, you can assist through several ways. You can donate to this project through PayPal platform or Boosty, also with the crypto currencies, or you can subscribe to my Patreon page and page on Boosty, where I have quite a lot of extra content on regular basis. All the links are on this video in description box and in the pinned comment. And of course, many thanks to everyone who already helped and continues to support. Thank you.